Hi, and welcome back to the welcome back. We haven't even started yet. Hi, and welcome to the very first episode of The Cupboard Drawer. Today, we're going to start off with a faux wood, a wood chandelier. A faux wooden chandelier. The wood's not faux. The wood is real. Well, it's wood. I came up with this project after seeing a picture of a faux chandelier online. The original light covers for the ceiling fixtures in my apartment are long gone, although some of the hardware remains. I came across these faux chandeliers that went for hundreds of dollars, and I thought it might be fun to try and create something myself. I actually blogged about this project back in 2013 when I first made it. I found these frames in a clearance bin at Michael's and really liked the scroll work. This is where the faux wood comes in. The frames are made of composite wood and didn't cut very cleanly. The project wasn't my best work. Like a Monet, it looks good from afar, but up close it's a little bit of a mess. So the plan is to take it down, disassemble it, clean it up, and put it back together. And better this time. Oh, and I want to replace this. It's a battery compartment for string LED lights. Right now it's just sort of hot glued on. Here's a blurry close-up you probably can't see, but I'm trying to show you some of the other fixes. I want to fill in some of the chips and other holes in the wood, and give it a cleaner finish this time. So I've got to take this thing apart, clean up the bits and smooth things out, put it back together, and then add a little bit more glitz and glam. And I think I want to redesign these beads also. The last thing that I want is for these beads all just to go flying all over the place. There we go. Okay. Finally. Okay, so this bottom part is going to be easier because it's mostly just glued. But you can even see right here how it's falling apart, man. And we could do better than that. I'm not concerned about breaking these further because I'm going to be sanding them anyway, but I obviously don't want to make them so uneven all right, that bottom part wasn't so bad. This part's going to be a little more delicate, but oh yeah, this is totally working. And I just broke the dowel. I think it can be salvaged though. I'm not going to go crazy just yet. I think that this is all salvageable. That was dumb though. We are just going to remove this. Well, I have a solution. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to join these, similar to if you're doing like some drywall repair, cover it with mesh, and then you put spackle over it and sand it all down smooth. I'm going to try to take that same theory and apply a mesh around to support the two pieces together, but it's going to be held on to the top piece. So I'm fairly certain that this is going to solve the problem and join these pieces back together. It is very hodgepodgey, but that's kind of what this is about. So I have a couple of different types of gauze that I found in my cupboard drawer, literally my bathroom cupboard drawer. And I kind of want it to be a little bit more porousy and mesh-like so that it really holds on to the glue. I meant to say that at the beginning, and that's sort of what this series is really all about. I really like crafting and doing all sorts of DIY projects, but I don't really like going out and spending a lot of money on materials, and also I have a problem with all this stuff that we throw away. Sure, I like a dollar store, but there are so many things that are just laying around our houses that we could use to help fix all sorts of problems. So I like to try to find solutions right here at home. Right, so that's baking in front of a heater in another room. So let me work on the next part of the project, which is filling in these gaps and breaks. I'm going to use a similar technique that I use with my roosters, which I can make a video and show you how I do that also. I actually have some here that I've been working on. With my roosters, I use a mixture of drywall compound and glue and some other materials. And here I'm using drywall compound and some gesso. Gesso is an acrylic medium, and I find that it helps to thin things out, but also adds a little bit of body. You see here, I'm trying to cover all the cracks, and it doesn't really matter if I'm being sloppy or not, because I'm going to go back and sand a lot of this down and try to make it as nice and smooth as possible. So we're just going to go along with the process. Well, we're back. I made a little bit of progress off camera. Let me show you what I've done so far. First of all, you'll notice that I have put together the bottom sections together. I did that using these clamps and just wood glue. You'll see that there are still some gaps, and I'm going to fill that in partially with wood glue, but then we're also putting on an additional layer which will further hold this thing together tightly. The other thing that I started working on was thinking about how am I going to attach this battery box to the bottom of the chandelier. I knew that I wanted to make it circular and not rectangular. Took the box itself and placed it on some cardboard, made a circle that went just a little bit beyond the four edges. I added some sidewalls here, as you can see, so I can slip the battery box in and out easily. And I've created a border that's going to go around. Just add a piece of paper. So we've pretty much gotten the chandelier where we want it structurally. And there's just one more little piece of decoration that I want to add. I want to add something in the center, something to hide where that break was, and we wrapped it with the gauze and the glue. It's holding very strong. What I've decided in the end is to create something that's complementary to the piece that's going to be holding the battery. I have these two circles. They're just a little bit smaller than the circle on the bottom, and that is kind of the look I'm going for. Now I'm going to double it up with another piece. I'm just going to put hot glue on the bottom piece. I'm hoping that it will squish enough to get sort of in between. I also have my dry pound. No, I have my joint compound, my drywall compound. I am going to cover this in the compound in order to sort of give it a little bit of a smoother finish. So we're at the point where everything's all completed. I added the top part, added the last layer of paint. Now what I want to do is I just want to make it a little bit more glamorous. I just want to pack this thing full of beads. I want to reposition some of the beads that I already had on here also. I wish this had more of a droopier effect. I like that much better. That's also going to give me some more room to do even more beads. And the last thing that I want to do is I want to camouflage this bottom piece. I'm going to make it so that they all sort of form together, and then they'll be attached with this little pendant at the very bottom. Thank you so much for joining me on the first of what I hope is many, many adventures. I have a lot of other things that I want to get through, and I hope you follow me on my journey as I get through these different projects. I like to sit and reflect on something I've learned, and I think that with this project, something I really was forced to confront is time. The time it takes to set this up, the time it takes to actually shoot the video, the time it takes to edit. But I also learned not to give up on time. This project took a little bit longer than I thought, and there are so many times that I just totally wanted to give up. You don't always see progress right away. I think that's the most frustrating part. I know what I have vision, and I just kind of want to get to the end point. But with time comes experience and learning. And with my next project, I know that I'll do even better. I'm actually thinking about making another one of these for the living room. I picked up these from the dollar store, and I think it could be a really cool project. Again, thanks so much for following along. And hit that subscribe button.